Once upon a time in a school not too far away, there was a backpack. It wasn't just any backpack. It was a cool purple backpack with two funky yellow stripes. And this backpack had a name. His name was Bobby. Bobby loved going to school every day. He loved seeing his favorite teacher, Miss Dot Sunshine. And most of all, he loved being filled with books, pencils, and yummy snacks. One day, though, Bobby had enough. It was a hot summer day, and Bobby was very, very full. He had started out the day with books, then he got filled with sandwich meat for lunch. And now he was bulging with sweaty gym socks. I can't take it anymore, he sighed. I need a vacation. As soon as school was over, Bobby slipped out the back door and raced down the street. To the beach, he said to himself, the big blue beach. All during the summer, Bobby had been dreaming about going to the beach. He had heard the children talking about it all year long. They would come back to school with sandy hair and towels slung over their shoulders, telling tales of waves and sunshine and seashells. And Bobby wanted to see it for himself. He walked past the ice cream store and didn't even stop to smell the waffle cones. He raced past the park where kids were playing and didn't even slow down for the slide. Bobby the backpack was on a mission. Finally, he saw it, the big blue beach. Bobby had never seen so much water in his life. He could hear the happy sounds of children laughing and playing. And he could smell something delicious wafting from a little hut with colorful umbrellas. I made it, Bobby whispered. I'm on vacation. Suddenly, a little girl came running toward him. She had bright red hair and a bucket and spade in her hands. Wow, she said, looking at Bobby. You're a really cool backpack. Do you want to play with me? Really? Asked Bobby. You mean I can play at the beach? The girl nodded. Of course. Come on. She took Bobby's strap in her little hand and walked him right into the water. Bobby had never been so happy in his whole life. He splashed around in the shallow water, chasing crabs and building sandcastles. The little girl, whose name was Lily, showed Bobby how to make the perfect sandcastle. They built tall towers and moats and drawbridges and flags, and Bobby laughed and splashed until his zippers were loose. When they took a break to go get ice cream, Bobby finally noticed that he wasn't really built for the beach. All his pockets were full of sand, and his straps were tangled in seaweed. And suddenly, he felt something squish inside of him. Oh, he said. What's that sound? What? Asked Lily. That sound, Bobby whispered. It's coming from inside me. At that moment, a big wave crashed over Bobby, and he felt something wet and squishy ooze out of his side pocket. Oh no, he cried. It's my snack. The wave had popped his muffin, and now a sticky caramel sauce was dripping out of his side pocket. Don't worry, said Lily. We can fix that. She grabbed some napkins from a nearby table and helped Bobby clean up the mess. You know, she said with a smile, you're the messiest backpack I've ever met. Bobby blushed, or at least he would have if backpacks could blush. Thanks, he said. But being messy is kind of my thing. After a while, Bobby noticed something strange. Even though he had a big patch over his broken zipper, more and more muffin pieces were falling apart. Oh, he said, it's happening again. What? Asked Lily, licking her ice cream cone. My snack, Bobby said, it's getting all gooey. Suddenly, another big wave crashed over Bobby, and this time, something even bigger oozed out of his broken zipper. Oh no, cried Bobby. "It's my cheese sandwich." Out came a giant glob of cheese sandwich, dripping and sliding off of Bobby's broken zipper. "Don't worry," said Lily. "I got this." She grabbed some more napkins and wiped off Bobby's broken zipper. "You know," she said with a smile, "you really need to get that fixed." Bobby sighed. She was right. His zipper was broken and his snack was gone. He needed to head home. Just then, a flock of seagulls swooped down from the sky and began pecking at Bobby's snack. "Hey, those are mine," cried Bobby. He tried to shoo them away, but the seagulls kept coming back for more. They pecked and they prodded and they pulled at his straps until Bobby was in tears. "Help!" he cried. "These seagulls won't stop attacking me." Lily stood up, took a deep breath, and shouted, "Scott, you dirty birds." The seagulls squawked and flew away. "Thanks, Lily," said Bobby, wiping his eyes. "Now I can finish my tantrum." "What?" asked Lily. "You want to have a tantrum?" "Well," said Bobby, "it's been a long day and I haven't had much fun." "Oh," said Lily, "I know what will cheer you up." She took Bobby's strap and walked him right into the water. Bobby splashed and played and swam until he was completely soaked. "This is great," he shouted, "but I need to dry off before I go home." "Me too," said Lily. "Let's go climb that rock." So Bobby and Lily climbed up a big rock by the shore and dried themselves in the warm sun. As they dried, they watched the other children playing. Some were building sandcastles, others were swimming, and some were just relaxing in the sun. "You know," said Bobby, "this is really fun. Maybe being at the beach isn't so bad after all." "Yeah," said Lily, "but it's time for me to go home now." She gave Bobby a big hug. "Thanks for playing with me today, Bobby. You're the coolest backpack I've ever met." "Thanks, Lily," said Bobby. "You too." As Bobby walked home, he realized he wasn't as wet or as sandy as he thought he'd be. And even though his zipper was still broken and he was full of crumbs, he felt happy. He had spent the day at the beach with a new friend, and that was all that mattered. As he walked through the door, Miss Sunshine looked up from her desk. "Oh, Bobby," she said with a smile, "you look like you had fun today. Did you get into some mischief?" Bobby blushed, or at least he would have if backpacks could blush. "Maybe," he said. "I had an amazing day." And from that day on, whenever Bobby was feeling blue, he remembered his day at the beach. And he knew that even though being a backpack was hard work, life was still pretty sweet. The end. And now I'm gonna ask you a question. What do you think Bobby should pack for his next beach trip? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe for more preschool fun. Thanks for watching.